When it comes to planning things for our life and business, planning can sometimes feel overwhelming, whether you're planning for a year or a month or a week. The act of planning is something that takes a lot of practice. It also requires us to be self reflective and introspective, which is something that we have a tendency to toss onto the back burner nowadays. So, here are a few tidbits of advice when it comes to planning and how we can navigate the obstacles that might come in our way. So, one of the first things that I want you to think of is how can I build more self awareness into my daily practice? Because self awareness is one of the things that is really going to tie into planning very clearly. In order to plan, we need to know, what do I want? And we can't know what we want unless we have self awareness. So build more time into your daily schedule. Sweet alone time, SAT, right? It could be journaling. It could be taking a walk. It can be reading. It can be seeking out a counselor or a mentor, but really dedicating that space to yourself so that we can practice becoming more self aware, self reflective, introspective in order to be able to listen to this little thing here, which is going to help you answer that question. What do I want? In order to plan, we need to know the answers to those questions. The second thing that I'd like you to think about when it comes to planning is once we've started to identify the things that we want and really thought about, oh, okay, here's like a list of goals. There's this little thing that happens where there's this pressure that we start to put on ourselves once we've written some things down on paper, or maybe we've just thought about them. And we can start to get stuck when we realize that a goal isn't working out or that it's not attainable. So one of the things that I really like to impress on clients of mine when we're working through goal setting is to get very clear on setting smart goals, goals that are specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're relevant, and they're time bound. And there are so many ways to check those 5 aspects. But if we don't check those 5 aspects, later down the line, we may find out, oh, you know what? This goal really wasn't as relevant as I thought. It's really not tied to my values, and I've decided I'm not going to do it. So before you get caught in that, make sure that you're sitting down with the SMART and making sure that your goal meets all of those elements. Finally, the last bit of advice is that when it comes to like big scale planning, don't feel like you have to do it all at once. If you're trying to plan out a year, give yourself multiple sessions to sit down and figure things out. Planning is a skill that takes practice. And if you're trying to force yourself into planning out a year or planning it out a month all in one go and you're feeling overwhelmed, you're probably not going to want to practice that skill. Remember that most people don't actually plan out an entire year all in one sitting. It's something that takes time and reflection and something that you can return to again and again, and more clarity will come. All right. Well, that is it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. I am excited to spend more time with you this year in 2024, and we will see you next Wednesday. So in the meantime, stay savvy and stay you, because you are an amazing teacher and there is no one in the world quite like you. And I think you are pretty dang awesome. Good luck planning. We'll see you next time.